Hey, what's up guys, this is Scott475 here, reviewing an inexpensive fitness tracker right here. It tracks all the basic stuff that you would expect, like steps, your sleep, calories burned, even has heart rate monitoring. Even though it's not accurate, I definitely don't advise making health decisions based on that. It even has a blood pressure monitor also, and that's definitely not accurate. So I don't know why they bother including things like that if they definitely don't work. But it is a little bit interesting to see the little animation when you scroll through the screens. In terms of other features, you can lift up your wrist to have it automatically turn on the display. It doesn't work perfectly, but if you do it hard enough, it definitely does show up. But what I find it a little bit strange is that what appears is not the traditional time screen. It just has this really awkward cut off of an analog clock, which isn't very helpful because it doesn't have really any numbering on it. So I would rather that they had just defaulted to the first screen when you lift to wake. The companion app that you download for this fitness tracker is where you can really customize all the other features. For instance, you can choose what types of messages that can show up on your wrist, so like your social media and also your text messages. The one thing to note is that for whatever reason, the text messages when they first arrive on your phone will show up on your wrist. The screen time is so short that you pretty much can't possibly read through the entire thing, so you have to go to your phone anyways. And there's no way to see your last message either, even though one of the dedicated scrolling screens on the fitness tracker is this message page, but that only tells you how many messages it has received since the last synchronization, which makes really no practical sense. So I think the message feature is more so of just alerting you that you got a message by a little gentle vibration on the wrist, and then you just have to go to your phone to actually read the message. In terms of other notifications you can set an alarm. Again, this would be in a vibration based on the time that you set inside the app. There's also a sedentary reminder if you wanted to see if you wanted to just remind yourself to get up every now and then if you do a lot of sitting around most of the day. There's even the feature to take a selfie or a picture using the fitness tracker as a remote. So that could be pretty handy, I guess, if you didn't have already a Bluetooth remote paired or something like that. So a selfie stick, then sure, you can just use this. But most likely, I think if you have this on a tripod or something, you probably already have a remote for it. So I can't really see how useful this is. Plus, there's several steps that you have to take in order to use it, because you have to go into the app, and then the app will actually activate it, and then you can use it on your fitness tracker to take that photo. Besides feature customization, the app can be used to, of course, track your steps, your sleep, calories burned, that sort of thing. You're also able to choose to track the type of exercise that you do, but the fitness tracker itself doesn't do it for you. You have to manually do it through the app, which is why I've pretty much never used it. But in terms of tracking your steps and activity and stuff like that, it's pretty decent actually. It's a little bit confusing to use at first, but there is some basic information at a glance for that day. You can see if you've met your goals or not, and then if you press into any one of them, you can see more detailed views, so you can see the trending over time, stuff like that. I'd say the sleep is definitely not accurate. For one thing, you can't set when you're actually sleeping. So you take a nap during the day, it's not going to track that down. It just kind of assumes that when you don't move very much that you're sleeping during typical night hours. So I think the most accurate thing that this does, and good thing that it is the steps. So I think the steps are decently accurate. Everything else, heart rate and blood pressure, I really wouldn't rely on it for that. One of my pet peeves, however, with using the app is how slow it synchronizes with the fitness tracker. It takes a good 2 minutes or so to fully synchronize everything, and you definitely want to do this every couple days, because if you don't, the fitness tracker's time will actually get out of sync. So you can see the time difference has been slowed approximately 20 to 30 minutes just from not synchronizing with my phone. In terms of kind of a platform where you can compete with your steps against some other people or friends, there really isn't anything for that. There's no leaderboards or anything, but you can still share your achievements via social media with the share button. Besides the app, you can still see a lot of data on your wrist alone, so you can clearly see the time and the date and also the steps just on the first page. Then you can click the capacitive button on the bottom to flip through the other several pages to go into more detail. Each one has a really neat little animation, and this color display does make it look a little bit easier on the eyes, though unfortunately it's not bright enough to see it in really bright daylight, but for most cases I was able to see the display just fine. At first, I thought that the big colorful display would mean that the battery life would suffer, but I was totally wrong. It actually lasts me for about a week before I have to charge and plug this thing in. So that is significantly better than the competition like a Fitbit. You usually have to charge it at least 2 to 3 times a week. So I think this is very impressive. And to charge it, I do like its charging method. You just need to pull off one end of the strap and it reveals the USB port. So you just plug that in to any USB port on, say, your computer or something like that to charge it up. Another aspect of this fitness tracker that I really like is the customizability of the straps. Right out of the box, if you saw my unboxing video, it comes with 3 different bands. It has a small one and also 2 colorful larger ones. So with the small one, it fits my wrist really well. It has plenty of holes that I can use to adjust to my narrow wrist, and I didn't even have to use the smallest hole to fit my wrist nicely. Additionally, in the buckle is a built-in extrusion so that it actually holds and locks in the buckle in place, which I think is a really great idea. So I'm able to use this when I go out for a run, and I don't feel like it's too loose or too tight at all. So this fitness tracker is by no means perfect, but also keep in mind this is only around $30, whereas a Fitbit is 5 times more expensive than that. But it does all the basic stuff that you would want from a fitness tracker, like tracking your steps, your calories burned, your distance traveled, alerting you of when you get those messages, having a nice colorful display, a really nice battery life that you can't get like on an equivalent Fitbit at all. It's also slightly water resistant, so you don't need to worry about taking it off when you're doing dishes or anything like that. You just can't swim with it. So on the screen is a summary of all the pros and cons. I would say most of the cons has to do with software related, so that's definitely an easy fix with just a software update in the future. So feel free to weigh out these factors. Again, I'll put the link in the description to this product if you guys are interested. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like. You'd be greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe to my channel, Skyforce95, if you haven't already, to get more content like this. Or if you're watching this on Amazon, head over to my channel URL right here, or just search it up on YouTube, Skyforce95. There you'll see a bunch of my product reviews and unboxings. Feel free to browse, or if you want to search for something specific, just hit that search field. That'll do it for this video. This is Skyforce95. Thanks for watching.